Christy, and welcome back to Kicking It with Christy. Today is Crochet Away Wednesday, and I am super excited because the pattern that I'm going to be talking you through and kind of helping you understand how to read is actually something we're going to make next week, and it's festive. So let's get to it. So excited to teach you guys how to at least read some beginner patterns, and then we will apply this pattern actually to next week's video. I am going to be helping you read the pattern for a candy cane ornament from Yarnspirations. Now, mind you, they do at least warn you in this one, because it's an ornament and you don't really use a whole lot of yarn, that a whole ball of one color and a whole ball of another will actually make like 24 ornaments. I'm going to bring it up and show you actually what I mean by a pattern. If you look at this photo, you can see that it's just the ornament itself, and then there's a whole bunch of numbers and letters, and it's just telling you what you need and what you need to do. The materials are listed. You don't have to use red and white. It's traditional for candy cane to be red and white. You can do red and green, white and green, silver and gold, whatever colors you want. You know, they're yours to personalize. And to be perfectly honest, I don't really use the brand of yarn that they list. I, again, have a lot of Super Saver. It's behind me. It's from Red Heart. And they use a Karen brand of yarn. But underneath the materials listed, they do tell you what size hook to use. It says, usually it'll say size US, and then it'll say either H, I, J, you know, an alphabetical letter, and it'll have a forward slash. Then it will have a number, which is usually the number that it is in the alphabet. So an H would be an 8, which is what you're using for the candy cane ornament. Or it's a 5mm hook if the hook does not have a number on it, which sometimes happens, or letter on it, or a number like that. Now, sometimes you need a different crochet hook to obtain the gauge. The gauge is something else that I'll explain in a minute, because I'm just going by what's on the picture right now. The abbreviations are kind of straightforward. I'm pretty sure you guys can understand, you know, approx is approximately. So, whenever they say that, which is just once. To be perfectly honest. Obviously, CH is chain, SC is single crochet, and DC is double crochet. If you don't understand any of those three, please watch my beginner's tutorial, or my beginner's video from last week. On this next screenshot that I'm going to bring up, the top part says it's the approximate finished project measurements is going to be 5.5 inches or 14 centimeters. That I don't know, because of it being a candy cane. I don't know if it's from the base to the arch or from the base to the whole thing. But for me, because it's an ornament, I would say make it whatever size you want. If you have a smaller hook, they're gonna come out smaller. If you want smaller candy canes, use a smaller hook. Crochet hooks measure from A being the smallest, or possibly B, and it goes up to just different letters. It'll go up to L, and I don't know if there's an M. I know for sure there's an N, and an R and an S. I don't know if there's other letters in between. I haven't really found any patterns that have needed them. They're very large. Usually use the R or the S for like a rug or something like that. So if you use like a D, E, or an F hook, it's going to be a very small project. They're going to be small candy canes. If you use the H, they're going to be the approximate 5.5 inches. If you use a bigger hook and you have a thicker yarn, it may end up bigger. If you use a smaller hook, you have a thicker yarn, it may balance itself out. That's what the gauge is for. Now, for projects you're going to wear, I suggest doing the gauge. Please gauge it out. When they say gauge and it says this one has 13 single crochet plus 14 rows equals 4 inches slash, 10 centimeters. Please, if it's something you're going to wear or something you want to be a specific size, please gauge it out before you start. Make sure that you take the crochet hook that they say to take, which this one is using H. Be sure that you do that gauge. Please do 13 single crochets as it says on here, and do 14 rows. And measure and be sure it measures 4 inches. If it doesn't, then adjust. If it's too small, get a bigger hook. If it's too big, use a smaller hook. It's hard to tell if you don't have the same yarn. If you're gonna do a garment, please, please gauge it out, I beg you. If you don't, it's not going to fit. You're going to sit there and go, why is this the size of my dog? Well, my dog's in a sweater now, apparently, but it's supposed to be for me. Like, please do that. It's why they give you the gauge itself. It's basically a universal way for if you're not using their yarn. This will show you the instructions, and it says coil, make one of each A and B, meaning the instructions that they're going to give you in a minute, make two of them, one of each color. So if you made a red and a white or white and a red, I don't really think it matters what order as long as you're using two different colors. They're going to have you choose one of the colors to make first. You're going to chain 40 with your yarn and your hook, meaning you're going to put the slip knot on the hook and you're going to pull through 40 times. And then once you get done with the 40, you're going to put 2 double crochets in the 4th chain from the hook. So I will go through more next week on how that will look. I just wanted to explain through how patterns are read and how, you know, some of it's really plain as day. The beginner ones are so simple and so easy to do, even for someone who doesn't understand the terminology, that I really don't have to explain too much, but I really did want to explain the gauge, the measurements and all that, because someone who doesn't know how to read it will look at that and go, gauge what? My ear? No, that's not happening. What are you talking about? You will go in 4 chains from the hook, do a double crochet, and do another one in that same chain, which I will show you next week. And then from there on, you'll do 3 double crochets in each of those chains, all the way to the end, and then you fasten off. I will show you how I like to fasten off. Some people don't like to fasten off that way. I will re-look up the proper way so that maybe it might be easier for you. I don't know. And then of course you're going to do the same thing with the other color, which again we will do next week. The instructions on the bottom, easy, simple. It's pretty self-explanatory. You twist them together because they're going to be kind of already wanting to twist. So if you take them and then wrap one around the other and, bend the top, it says to put a stitch in it, like put a pin in it or something. I would say you can even take thread if you'd like, and kind of sew that hook where those things are together. I will try to do that next week. I'm gonna probably make one ahead of time to see how they come out. But as for reading patterns, that's kind of it. The gauge, I think, is what's most confusing to some people. Like, they don't understand what they mean by doing that. That's it for today's video. I'm so excited. I can't wait till next week. I don't know if you can see this. I am very excited. I want to make a bunch of these. And I think the following week I will find another beginner pattern that's festive, that's holiday, that you can make and decorate your house with. I cannot wait for you guys to crochet with me and to make these cute candy cane ornaments. Don't make them with me. I'm just too excited for this. It sounds silly to everyone who's like, why are you not excited? They're stinking cute. Did you not see them? I will put them up here again. They're freaking cute. And if that rectangle's still red, what's it doing there? I know it's Christmas time. Red's a Christmas color or a holiday color. You could poke it and make sure, you're subscribed. And also, I'm going to start linking my Instagram on here, but it's the same name as the channel name. And you can go follow me there. I would like to thank you again for watching and just kicking it with me.